I just had an amazing experience that I will share with you that might be really helpful if you're struggling with something like an addiction, compulsive thinking, frustration, fear, or just plain pissed off or angry or annoyed. What I'm going to share with you is the way I've found out of it, and it's a way that anyone can find out of it. You can use this whenever you're ready, including right now. Now, I wouldn't use it while you're driving or doing something else. It's pretty crazy. So here's exactly what just happened to me. The last few days, I've been struggling with compulsive thinking, getting into negative thoughts and fear and worrying like, oh, what's happening? What's going to happen? What if this happens? What if that happens? I've been noticing that I've been struggling to appreciate the moment. I've been doing things like sitting with my wife in the morning and noticing, hey, why am I not appreciating this? Right, this is a great moment. This is a beautiful thing, having time with my wife. And I notice, and I do it in my work, and I've noticed several times the last few days, why am I not appreciating? Why am I not here? Why am I stuck in my head with all these crazy thoughts? Why can't I appreciate what I have right now? So if you're struggling with this, and these things come out in all kinds of ways. They've came out for me before in addictions, in bad behavior, acting out, being mean to people, being a bad employee, being a bad friend, being a bad son, husband. All these things come out in the same way, and it's all the same basic frustration. So here's what just happened to me today. And if you can let this happen to you, or find your own way of doing it, it provides absolute, complete, total relief. But it requires confrontation of the most thing you might be afraid of, and that's death. Here's what happened. So I went to the gym. I've been going along my day kind of with this anxiety, frustration, fear hanging over me a little bit. And I've been listening to an Eckhart Tolle retreat series. Eckhart Tolle's been really inspirational and helpful for me in my spiritual journey. And I was listening in his book, and I was eating a sandwich, and he was talking about appreciating and noticing the forms now takes. So I was looking at the sandwich. I was looking at the half sandwich. I'd already eaten the other half, and I looked at it, and I thought, how cool this is right here. I just made this. I normally just make a sandwich and eat it and don't even hardly think about it. And I looked at it, and I'm like, how cool is this? It's right here. It's right now. And it's about to be gone. I'm about to eat this, and then it's gone. Sure, I can go make another one, but this one sandwich in this exact form I've made it is here, and it's going to be gone. So I ate the sandwich, and then I walked into the shower, and then I got this moment of clarity. I went into something my mom said has really helped me. My dad passed away last year, and it's been really hard on my mom. They were married 30 years. And this thought Mom said came to me. I'd give anything to have another day with your dad, even a bad one. And I thought about that, and I remembered what my wife said this morning. She said, this time with you, we sit on the couch quietly for like 10 or 20 minutes now each morning. She said, this time with you is one of my favorite parts of the day. And I really felt that compliment right when she said it, but I had my armor up. I was still in that frustration, anxiety, annoyed. I saw it was a beautiful thing she'd said, and it couldn't quite sink in. So that compliment, what my mom said about my dad and the sandwich, all collided. So let me explain exactly how that can happen in the mind. I looked at it and realized and looked at everything around me, and I went into not being here. And the certainty that this form, this body, this face, everything I do, everything, whatever is here in my life that I call my life, including my wife, my mom, my family, everyone will die. For sure. And at some point, none of us were here to start with. And I went deeper into that and thought exactly the place of nothing, where that is, a place where this form is gone, where my wife is gone, where everything I care about, my dogs, my brothers and sisters, my cousins, my nieces and nephews, everyone's all gone and dead, and no one even remembers. There's no trace left. Absolute nothing. And I went deep and deep and deep into that. And at first, it was awful. At first, it was awful to think from an ego point of view or to think and to see everything just disappear. But I kept going into it, and I focused on what Mom said and the wife, what the compliment she gave me, and the sandwich. I'm just like the sandwich. I've been put together. My mom was very generous to raise me, and my dad to have me and raise me for so many years, and I've been put together just like I put together that sandwich. And at some point, life is just going to eat me, and that's it. This form is gone forever, and that's okay. And that's okay. I went deep into that thought and understanding and knowledge of death, and understanding that beyond nothing, beyond all of these forms, beyond all of these forms is eternal life. And that eternal life that Jesus talked about, that idea of nirvana, that is all right here, right now. That's the awareness and noticing everything. And it's tough to explain this. So I'll just tell you what happened. So I went deep into that. And at first, when I pictured my wife being gone, when I looked from a place where everyone was dead, when I looked from that place, the place of looking as if my wife's already gone and burned up and cremated, which is easier for me to see now that my dad's gone. When I looked from that place, at first it was awful. I immediately started crying, and the tears came. And then seeing that for myself, too. This body, gone. Deteriorated, burned. Not even remembered. When I went to that place, all of the spinning thoughts in my head stopped. All of the thinking about what if, everything was just shattered. So all of these compulsive thoughts that I've had for almost all of my life with the, what do I need to do next? What time is it? Where am I going? Who's doing this? What's happening to me? How do I feel? What do I want? All those compulsive thoughts shattered. Because in the place of death, there is nothing. There are no worries, no concerns, nothing to care about, nothing to be afraid of. And when I went to that place, and then came down to look at my body again, and by this point I was in the shower just sobbing, picturing my wife being gone. When I came back to that place, something ridiculous happened. Then I could see the miracle of being here right now. Going to a place of death and non-existence and then coming back into this moment. I'm here. And it was as if I had been dead and dropped back into my body again, and I was blown away. I went from crying to laughing hysterically. I don't know how long I was in there, but I just started laughing. It was so ridiculous. I looked down at my hands like I'd never seen them before. The way you would feel if you died and got stuck back in a body again. You'd feel like it was a miracle. You'd look down at everything for the first time. Like, wow, the same way you see a little baby looking at the world. That sense of wonder, that unconstrained, undefined looking, where you just watch and see the world and look around at it like, what is going on here? And I was in the shower and I had been crying, going into the thought of death and losing my wife, and that the whole stream of thoughts and consciousness shattered. And there was peace and quiet, the peace of death, the peace of God, the stillness where everything is okay. And once I came back into that, I looked around, I realized my body's here. This is so cool. As if I just got issued a new one. Not regarding what I just did or what I might do, but it's here, it's right now, it's so cool. And I started laughing hysterically and just like wiping the mist off the shower and looking up the water like I had just came back from death and got stuck in my body again. How cool is that? The miracle is to see from death, see this life from a place of nothing. And it's so cool. Everything is so cool from a point of view of nothing. It's cool. It's here. I was in the shower like I'd never showered before. I was standing under the water. I turned it up hotter. I'm like, ooh. I turned it down real cold. I'm like, wow, that's cold. And I turned it back to where it was nice and pleasant. Just a childlike, fresh look on life. This has never happened to me before. This was weird. And it was so cool. I've been on a spiritual journey. I've struggled with a lot of problems in my life, addictions, and a lot of acting out negative behavior, rude, selfish, a lot of things like that, and discovering not taking this form so seriously, but looking from a place of nothing, looking from a place of death. It helps me appreciate everything. I feel alive. I am alive. I am here right now. It's so cool. And nothing else matters. Not what happened yesterday, not what's going to happen tomorrow, not what's going to happen in 10 minutes or what you're going to think of this video. It doesn't matter. I did feel compelled to share this with you because of how much I've struggled in my life. I felt compelled to share this with you because I would love for you, because ultimately I believe you and me are not any different. We're all part of the same one life. I want you to have access to this infinite spiritual power that I and millions more people on the planet are starting to wake up to. To me, one way to go into it is through seeing through death. When your eyes see through someone who's dead, look as if you are dead. Look as if the people you care about are dead, the things you care about are dead and gone. When you can look from that point of view, there's infinite power, and